Welcome to episode 6.
Hey,
As usual, it's Olori baby girl. Ladies,
it,
say your
it's
hellos.
Eka here. Eka is here. Hello.
Okay, hola.
You guys are wrong. This is Epe in the building.
Okay, wow, that's a cool one. That is a cool one. Can we just move on? Okay, so today's topics, we're going to be talking about our Black Brass segment is just giving kudos to the women who have been on the front lines of the NSAR struggle. Then we will talk about doing too much during the talking stage, whatever that means. And then we'll talk about domestic violence, but more along the lines of women kind of recanting their stories, after they've come out to say that this is what happened to them. And then we'll talk about Laycon from Big Brother and backlash that I guess the governor of his state, Ogun State, I think, is getting for making him the youth ambassador or something to that effect. So let's dive right in. Black Brass segment. So the two women that I wanted to spotlight for this segment was Aisha Yesufu, who has also been a someone on the front lines of the Bring Back Our Girls campaign. She was, I think, heading the Abuja, what do you call it, the
Angle.
Abuja
Yeah.
angle, yeah, of the protest. And so, I think she was even shot at. She was thrown like water bottles. She was manhandled, but she still kind of pressed on. So I wanted to give her kudos there. The other girl on the Lagos side, I think her name is Rinu, but I'm looking for her phone. I think it's Oluwa Rinu. Oduola, that's her full name, but I think her handles are Savvy Rinu. And she has been
Okay.
on the front line. She also slept, there was a group that slept in front of the Lagos State
Yeah.
government house
Yes.
overnight.
Yeah.
She was part of that group. I think I once saw a video of her. She has lost her voice because what they were angry about was when the deputy governor came out and they asked him, is it okay for us to stay here? Not that they need his permission, but
Mm-hmm.
because it is their right to protest. And he said that this is fine, like you're doing your performing your rights, right? Somebody else came there and they told them the same thing, only for 20 minutes or so after police to come and start harassing them and stuff like that. So another high level police person had to come and say we apologize, and she was like, it's not an apology issue. On whose order was that?
Are you doing this?
Yeah, because you are also for the police coming out to say sorry, and then somebody else came and was harassing us. So on whose order was the initial directive given? So I wanted to just give a shout out to these ladies for the work that they've been doing on the struggle in our Brass segment. I wanted to link it to something else, and maybe we'll do this as a different topic, but I know that during the Black Lives Matter campaign,
Yeah.
one of the talking points was the fact that the black woman's value seems to come from how much struggle she can take, how much pain she can tolerate, how much she can take care of other people. And so some of these showing black women in the struggle of Black Lives Matter, like, because I think almost all the major publications either showed like a black girl in tears or a woman with her fist up, and it's like we lose our ability to be vulnerable when we are
Yeah.
shown as the frontline fighter. So
Mm-hmm.
nobody cares for you, right? And so maybe what I would do is maybe I don't know if you guys have like kind of thoughts on that, but maybe I would develop that more for a future episode, which is
Man, there's so much on that topic. Like it goes
yeah.
deep.
It's a big
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
So maybe we'll just leave that for a different episode. But at least I wanted to highlight and just say thank you to the ladies who have, there are other men too that are involved that have been, fighting this battle. But I think, as a Black Brass segment, let's give kudos to this women. I think
Yeah.
Chacha as
Yeah.
well, from
It was
the prior
on. Yeah.
the prior Big Brother, was also leading the cause as well. I would say that there's a group called Enough is Enough.
Yeah.
I think that's their name, and it's led by a woman. I think Dami Adamuleko or something like that. And so again, another woman kind of pushing,
Yeah.
the cause for all. So just to spotlight them and say thank them for the work that they're doing to kind of make Nigeria a better place for all of us. Any thoughts there, lady, before we go into the gists of the
No,
day?
see,
I mean, I think Aisha is just such a bold person. I didn't know about her till like this whole thing, and then I did my research and found out she has actually been doing this for a while.
a long time,
Yeah,
long
so
time.
I was
She has
actually
been,
shocked.
yeah. I'll say that they've just, as in, they give you that sense of, I think her own quote was that the worst that can happen to her is for them to kill her.
Yeah.
So it's that kind
Yeah,
of thing of, okay, I'm just going to keep on doing it. The worst you can do is to
yeah,
kill me. So
regardless.
yes, I think that is so bold a thing to believe in. That is, you don't fear anything or anybody again.
Mm-hmm.
You're here fighting causes that are very, very, very positive. So I think that's the
Yeah.
best thing. And then
And
I'm I'm,
yeah.
I'm very impressed with Chacha as well, as in, because a
Mm.
lot of these people, you see them, you just think, oh, they're just big brother people, but then she went out and she did her work, which was quite good.
So I wanted to even link it to something really quickly. What Aisha and Reno are fighting for, right? I think that men have overwhelmingly been the majority of the victims of SARS, right? Either
Mm,
from harassment standpoint or from the killing standpoint. And I think Aisha is married with kids, so I think it takes a special kind of man
Yeah.
in a sense to be
to
willing
be able
to
to.
give Aisha
Mm.
to Nigerians basically for her to what she feels is appropriate. And to me, I link that to say that the cause she's fighting for benefits men probably more than it benefits women in general,
Yeah.
given how history has played out with the victims of SARS. Yeah, there are many men who want to stifle their wives or women in their lives. Do you get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's just a call to say, if you may have an Aisha as a wife, a sister, a friend, don't stifle her, because you never know what her potential is and where she can be tomorrow in terms of fighting for a right for you in a way that you can't be on the front line taking that kind of bullet. And she was in her full Muslim garb. She had like
Hijab
her
and
hijab and
everything.
everything,
Yeah.
right? So it's not even like, oh, she's liberal. Like, no, she is respectful of her culture and she's
Mm.
fighting for her rights. So to me, it's just
Mm,
like we need to, like, this is the power or this is the result of letting a woman be her. Like, this is one of the examples here. So if you are a witch or a wizard, please stop stifling. It's true, women, because she will be fighting for your own cause one day and you never know. But
yes.
you would never have gotten the benefit of an Aisha if her husband was a wizard in her life, or if people were holding her down. So please don't be a wizard, thank you. Moving on to our first gist topic. So I think this trended maybe 2 weeks ago, but long story short, a girl was in a talking stage with a guy. So they were just talking. I guess that means we're just casually seeing ourselves or something. And the girl had said the guy had asked her to cook for him during lockdown. So she will cook for him, send it with a dispatch rider to him, and she found out later that he was enjoying her home cooked meals with his girlfriend, right?
Wow.
So there were two angles. So not I don't even think two angles. I
Oh.
think many people were like, it's the girl's fault that why did she collect money from the guy to even do the cooking, that now she has lost out on two angles. Some were like, oh, the girl is acting desperate. I tend to not to be in the minority on this one, but I'll let you guys kind of go in and say, like, what is your take? Was she doing too much? Was she not, like, where did she go wrong, or where did they get, like, who went wrong? I guess is basically the question here. And was she doing too much?
It's funny. I read this story and I read it in passing when I
Hmm.
read it, and I just laughed because it was just like, okay, because it was the girl that was writing it, right? And
Yes.
then I was like, okay, are you just giving us the gist, or you want us to tell you
Exactly.
that, guy, you don't, like, you be mumu, as in that kind of thing, as in just in a light manner of, oh,
Right.
see how this guy just used you and did mumu, that kind of
Mm.
thing. I think that is where I stand with it. Is that kind of ha ha ha, see how this guy used you to do mumu, moving on, because in the end, it is all about choices. It's your choice to cook for him and be sending him. She said during
Uh,
lockdown she was sending delivery. She was doing delivery of
Yeah,
food.
yeah.
uh-uh.
It is a choice.
Wait, wait. So
You
this guy, is he her boyfriend or just a friend?
No,
So
no,
they
they
were
are
in
just
talking stage, they were,
stage one.
Ah,
just seeing how
ah.
it goes.
Stage
Wow.
one. And then she did not know, as in the guy had a girlfriend, obviously. Now the
No,
issue is you make a choice, you decide to cook. That's your own
exactly.
choice. You decide to cook for the guy. Now I don't know what your intention for cooking was. Maybe you thought
Exactly.
a food to man's way to a man's heart. I don't
Hmm.
know. Oga was collecting the food and
And
eating
chopping.
with his girlfriend. He doesn't need to tell you that he has five people in his house that he's
Stop,
eating
stop,
from.
don't bring it.
Of course. So he was eating. Whether or not, now my issue is, now for her it's a choice, and it's sad that I don't know her intention or her motive behind doing
Mm,
this. Maybe she's just a nice girl. That's good for her. Now the guy is where I have a problem with. Oga was chopping it with his girlfriend. What type of messages were you sending to the
oh,
girl
good.
that made her cook for you? What type of how were you running the package? If you're running it in a single guy manner, then you're wrong. So that's deceitful. That's my only issue. But yeah,
Hashtag men are scum.
as in, this is hashtag men has come. But then Oga saw food, it was sweet. Me personally, I'm not going to be cooking for somebody that I've not
Exactly.
you've not even put a ring on it. Don't even talk about boyfriend,
No.
girlfriend. You've not even put ring on it. I will now be cooking for you, sending it during lockdown. Haba mana. Eh? No,
No.
no, no, no,
Like
no.
even if she likes cooking, I know some girls like cooking, but
Yeah,
me, Sha, based on experience, and I think in general, at the beginning stage, it's even the guys that try to cook because
I've
guys
seen
try to
that.
woo you at the beginning. So I don't understand why she was sending food, unless he says, okay, maybe I don't know if she has a food business, and you're like, okay, I want to taste your food.
Yeah, maybe she has a food business. So
But not to be sending. She will not pay for dispatch rider. No, no, no,
wait, is
no.
she the one buying the ingredients?
Yeah, the guy
Oh
didn't
my
bring
god.
Chubai in
Guys,
in
guys, guys,
the
that guy is sitting with Satan. Ah, God.
okay, so I said I'm in the minority on this one for a few reasons. I like to me, I think it's sad that I think humanity has evolved to this level, right? In the sense that if we're like, and even this idea of talking stage, I feel like we've not added so many stages to avoid accountability. Right.
Mm,
On step
Mm,
one, if you had a girlfriend, you should not have been talking to me. Like
that is
let's
it.
start there. Do you get what I'm saying? Number two, to me, I personally have no issues cooking for a guy, even in talking
mm,
stage. But my
Mm,
point is this, right? And I'll give an example for when the table is switched. It's almost like a guy and a girl are, in this so-called talking stage, and she says, "Oh, my rent is due," or "I want to buy
mm.
iPhone,"
yes.
right? And you now give her the iPhone. I don't like more likely than not, you are doing it from a place of, okay, we're building on something, right?
Mm,
So the idea that the girl can say tomorrow, "Oh, well, you only did it from your heart's goodness." I'm like, that is a bit greedy,
it's unfair.
right? Or maybe a man sends you to university. You know from day one that in your next three lives, this,
Exactly. You
this this
can't.
man is not your spec. Yet you will take
Mm,
the school fees and claim, you were doing it from your own heart goodness, right? So to me, I feel like as human beings, we're creating a place where from day one is now, what can you do for me? What's the
Mm,
bass boss involved in there? I said, if we're in a talking stage, I'm assuming that we're building towards something. So me cooking for you or me doing that is me assuming that because again, I'm sure the guy was not abusing her for her to be doing this
no.
cooking. He'll probably giving her good,
He
good
was
morning,
liking her
babe.
pictures and
okay.
Yeah,
commenting.
good
Let me
morning,
just
babe.
say,
I appreciated your last day's jollof
You're
rice.
yeah.
lovely. Your
Yeah.
wife
So for
material.
me, the girl wasn't like just in a different world. She was being given enough fruits to say that, because it's not on the one that will say, okay, well, but getting married. Right, we build on
Mm,
something. So to me, in that building stage, if we're not saying that, okay, oh, cash for hand, back for grand kind of a thing, to me, I just feel like it's a bit
transactional.
too transactional for a potential long-term thing. But do I blame people who are saying, because people have been burnt so many times, you do something from a good
Mm,
place, and then you're now looking like the fool because
Mm,
they didn't reciprocate. So to me, I'm like, yes, do things and be clear on why you're doing it. But as the person receiving it, if you like, you know when someone is doing something for you because they expect that this is going somewhere, right? No,
also,
no man will
can we
give you
go?
a car gift today just because they like
Mm,
my face. It's probably something that you want from me. So I'll either say, Baba, what do
what's
you
this?
want,
What's it?
from the car? Or I say, okay, I agree with your terms, and I'll take the car. But you forming that, oh, you're only being nice, is you're being
But
sincere.
let me just say, I think with men and women, I think women tend to lie to themselves sometimes. Because even that's the same thing. I'm trying to take it back to Erica and Kidwire.
Oh, I
Kidwire
wanted
was
to just
completely
say mental attraction. Sorry.
because this girl that is sending food, I've seen this happen where a guy just says, look, he might not say I have a girlfriend, but he's like, look, we're just talking. And she'll be like, oh, no problem. I've seen girls begging somebody to send them food. Like, oh, let me just cook for you. And I always tell these guys, like, look, this girl, maybe she put kaya mata inside. Why are you collecting food, first of
I
all?
don't know.
Because we don't know, this girl that is sending food, we don't really know the conversation she had with this guy. Because in my experience, I think some men are honest, some are not. Again, I feel like women lie to themselves sometimes. She might think that eventually he'll come around. So we can't really blame the man
Yeah,
in
so
general.
I get that, but to me, I think honesty is 100%, right?
100, it should be
Yeah,
100%.
you can't say that.
Yeah.
Oh, I've told you that I don't want anything serious, but you're still leading me on. No, because
That's the
to me, if
thing.
you want nothing serious, and I've expressed that, because no guy can tell me today with any
But
confidence.
who will reject food now? Me, if you give me like
No,
who will
but that
reject
is
food?
where I'm saying that
Yeah, me I
honesty,
reject
that
so
that honesty,
kaya
that
matter.
I'm saying, if a
Hey.
guy buys me a car today, I'm saying car as per like my dream G-Wagon Range Rover, I will ask you that, oh God, please, what do you want?
As in,
Honesty is 100, to me, is 100%. You can't say, okay, because like most guys know when a girl is, maybe she didn't hear what you said,
You like, yeah.
right? Or so I think you guys even do that. Oh, but I told you, or I didn't promise you anything, to have a get out out of jail free card. It's the same guy
Yeah.
that maybe if you see you talking to another guy, will not form being jealous. Right. So to me, my honesty is full, is 100%. I don't want you, and I think
Yeah.
that you are liking me. I've done it before. I don't like you, and I think that you're liking me more than that is healthy. I won't let you do certain things to avoid
Yeah.
that gray area of a thing. So yes, the guy may have communicated in words, but for a guy to send you every day, you're probably sending her good morning, babe. As
he's
in,
enjoying the food, and even
exactly,
the
and that's not
girlfriend is
being
telling him,
honest.
please send out your vendor a message.
Exactly, that's not being honest. That's, to me, that is not being honest. So for me, I think honesty is
Yeah,
100%.
honesty is important. It
Yeah, 100
is.
in actions and in what we all know how to
Yeah.
send to kill someone that, not kill, but to, like, you know put at bay someone that we don't want, you know to
Yeah.
to be in our space. But anyway, let us just track along. Chacha Eke Fanny. Now, last week again, I think she came out with a video saying that her husband, that basically she escaped with her life, claiming or insinuating that her husband had been physically abusive towards
Yeah.
her. Then I think a few days after, she came and said, with a video of her in a hospital, claiming that she has been diagnosed as being bipolar, that her husband has never, I guess, physically, abused her, or whatever the case may be. Now she's an actress, so even that video seemed quite stage managed, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But for me, I guess what I don't get is, why come out to recount your initial story? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't like.
Yeah.
That's what threw me off, because similarly, Femi Fani Kayode, who's also been accused of physically abusing his wife, a few years ago, when the rumor came up initially, they now did a video of him feeding her, or her feeding him or her soup, claiming that they were, still in love, no domestic, issues. So I think for me, it's like, as a woman, like, where do you have to go to have to backtrack? No, not even only backtrack your statement, but now also acts in the
Yeah.
film to produce the evidence that, no, your husband was not, abused. Like, so what do you guys, feel about that?
I didn't even know she came back with two videos. I don't know. I don't know, because it's like 1 minute, because you have to direct us correctly so that we know where we will face our energy. You come, you say you had to run away, blah 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 blah. Our energy is, if you see that man on the road, stone him. I'm not saying that that's what we should do,
Yeah.
oh.
Right.
But then you now come back again and talk about being bipolar. It's very, very dicey. It's similar to what happened with I think, I don't know if you guys remember, a long time ago, that lady that what was her name? Social prefect.
Yeah.
She
Okay,
came
yeah.
and she blasted the husband
He
online
didn't
and
do anything.
everything. And then she came back and then they said, oh, she's unstable. Like there were so many conflicting
Mm,
issues. Now, my own issue is that it's so dicey because all we are seeing is what you're giving us. And we are seeing one person's, most times we're seeing one person's side of the
yeah,
story. We're not seeing the other person. Most times in this situation, the women come and cry out. The men
yeah,
are normally silent. Do you
yeah.
understand? So it's like I don't know. I can't judge. My first instincts would be to side her and say, "Ha, this man has dealt with this woman now. Thank God she has left
Yeah,
or something." But then more and more, and it's sad because there are many other people going through domestic violence that now, because of what is happening, it's like they can't come out and shout because many other people have messed it up. I'm not saying Chacha has. I don't know what is true now because I don't
mm,
know what. Maybe she might. They may have threatened her and then she'll come back with another video later. That's a possibility. It's the same way with Femi Fanikayede's wife. Who knows
mm,
what is happening in the back stages of the thing that is making somebody? I don't even know. I think the thing is quite confusing, especially if you're sitting from outside and watching inside, because
yeah.
it has to do with two people. You're not in the house. You don't know what is happening between them.
Me, I'm going to go based on because I mean I was looking at different blogs. And basically, people were like, oh, he cheats, which is why I always say it might be mental abuse. A woman can break down. It doesn't have to be, oh, he beat her. If you're
Yeah.
mentally abusing a woman, even like the social
Mm,
prefect you talked about, I feel like she was insecure. And then because the thing she was saying that the guy was comparing her, I'm like, Auntie, it's probably in your head. And also, it's probably he did it, or it's probably,
mm,
it's possible he did
is
it. But
insecurities? Yeah.
exactly, it's insane. So with Chacha, I feel like maybe I think for me, I don't even think it might be bipolar, whatever. I think it might be postnatal depression, like because it was
Yeah.
after she
Yeah.
had the last child.
Yeah.
So it's possible that he's abusing her, but it's not how we think. Like he's not beating her. Because when she said she left for her life, man, there's a kind of breakdown you have. Like even beating you is better than even the mental breakdown. So when
Right.
she's running for her life, it's probably maybe her head had, turned upside down. But I don't think he beat her, but I definitely feel like maybe he didn't support her enough the way she wanted him to support her. And so, I mean,
Mm,
obviously now she's bipolar because nobody ever said anything about him beating her. It was just like, oh, sometimes he cheats. And then some people said he also cheats. We don't know. But based on social media, I never saw anyone say, oh, he laid, and I read different blogs, like comments. So I think it might be more of that, like she was vulnerable after that child, and then she just
Yeah.
maybe she needed him more,
lashed
and he
out.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I think, well, let me go in two places. I think that even in the case where you beat a woman, right, and
mm,
she cries out, and then the next day you're being compelled to do a video to, like, to claim that it was
Debunk
all a
it.
lie. For me, I
Mm,
feel like that is just further manipulation, in the sense that if you are really, so you beat me as my husband and you're really remorseful, right? It shouldn't be about cleaning up your image. It should be about
mm,
how you improve going forward. So worst case scenario is that we will not say anything else in social media, right?
and we'll
But
fix
we'll,
ourselves.
yeah, but we'll fix ourselves internally. But to make me go out to now put a video recanting the truth, to me, I think that's just a proof of further manipulation. And to me, I'm not convinced that as the man you've shown remorse. So any counselor, any elder, any family member that is advocating that to save the man's face, let's do this video, when in
Yeah.
fact he did abuse her or beat her, to me, we need
mm,
to scrap that out from our advice handbook. If he beats
And
you, stand in your truth.
yeah, and you know that there are a lot of people, family members that advise that rubbish advice.
Yeah,
mm,
yeah,
That's the problem. A lot of people say, you shouldn't have carried your thing outside, which is granted, but then they'll say, oh, go and do it. You don't want, everything in this. I've noticed in this life, after growing up now, you realize that everything is that, you will now make people talk. What will people say?
six,
It's always
right,
yeah,
about people. You
right,
that you're being beaten, and then they're telling you to go and lie to that it didn't happen. It never happens. It never. It's not about you. It's about what will people say and do.
mm,
right. And then the second thing that I was going to kind of say on a similar topic with like this Chacha issue is, I think that to me, it's the role that your spouse has to play. in the sense
Yeah.
that this, because we're all very mental health, kind of
Yeah.
open these days. But I feel like as the caregiver of someone who has mental health issues, I feel like sometimes that gets lost in the conversation. So let's assume that this guy was not beating her, whatever, because and then should is beating less than emotional. I don't know, but I feel like the same way the person who has the mental health issues doesn't have the skills to cope, you as the caregiver, do you really have, because is
Yeah, it's
love
true.
enough, is love enough to get you through, you know
Sometimes it's not.
loving
In fact,
loving
most
loving
times.
someone that's has mental health issue? Like, is that enough,
Yeah.
or are you also
Mm.
now not equipped also yourself, right?
And
That's
with that
assuming
insecurity, the
assuming Chacha
projects.
is bipolar, for example. Sorry,
or or,
sorry.
or having postpartum depression or
Yes,
whatever,
Yeah.
we're
okay. Yeah,
assuming
yeah, yeah.
that,
Yeah.
right? It is love enough from the husband side to
Hmm,
just take care of her? Do you get what I'm saying?
It
Like,
might,
is that
yeah.
enough?
I
It
don't
might
know
not be
what to
enough
say. It
because
might
you
not be
have to
enough.
first
Oh.
sort yourself out first. Because sometimes, no matter how much someone says, "You're amazing, I love you," like once you're dealing with something, you might not even believe it. So it's like everybody's lying
Mm.
to you. But you have to check, because sometimes it's a personal thing. You need to check yourself and then get help if you need help. It's not someone, like, it's only a therapist that can help you. Another person can't help you. That's just a sad thing with like mental health issues.
Mm.
Right, because
And
I wonder if he was cheating, was that not to justify it, but was that a
Yeah.
reaction to him trying his own non-professional way
Mm,
to help her, and maybe
yeah.
he feels like she's not appreciated, because sometimes it's easy to have hindsight when you're not in the issue, but when you're in the
Yeah.
issue,
Mhm.
it comes off as, I'm trying to be there for my spouse, she's not
But
appreciating my help, so
that's
I go
what, yeah.
outside. It doesn't
Mm.
excuse it, but to me I feel like there's some of these nuances that we miss
Hmm.
in this conversation about abuse, or being
Yeah.
in a toxic place. But anyway,
Yeah.
let's kind of move to the next topic. Laycon of the Big Brother Nigeria, aka Mr. Mental Attraction. So therefore, he's governor, I think the governor of Ogun State. I think that's Dapo Abiodun, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Maybe, or yeah, I think that, yeah, anyway, his governor, I think, has made him an ambassador or youth ambassador for the state or something.
Oh,
And I think he was, as part of that appointment, got like somehow like a house or some money or something to that effect. So there was backlash because I think from a particular pastor, Wale Adenuga, I think is his name, was not happy because in from his perspective, it seems like we are rewarding trivialities and mediocrity, I think is what he was saying. um so I'll go first on like my thought process. I think that there is some validity to what he's saying. Now, right, wrong, or indifferent, he's a pastor, so he probably has some mental, some moral,
Mental.
some moral arguments against the Big Brother Nigeria show, right? But I feel like there's something to be said there in terms of, we've had many times where like the best graduating students of X university, like a federal or state university, getting
Mhm.
like 20K, right?
hmm.
Nobody made them youth ambassador. Nobody gave them a house, right? So how can we encourage kids to stay in school if we're not incentivizing them the way that we're, giving incentives to people who went
Yeah.
the other way? Also, does Ogun State have the money for this? Like, are there, like, have you paid your staff? Do you get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Are you paying the new 30K minimum wage?
Mm.
Right? Are there civil servants that can be rewarded with this house, to show a good example of what we expect from our civil servants, than Laycon of Big Brother, who probably has endorsement deals that are going to come his way in addition to what he has won, you know, on the show. So to me, I'm kind of on the pastor side here, but of course he has many, fans that are not, with it. But let me hear what you guys think about that.
I think all these, like, when I see these things happen, it's like when I see an actor is a special something to a governor, I'm like,
Yeah.
these are unnecessary positions. There's, like I said before, there's so many, I don't know how to say, different sets in this Nigerian, like when they're talking of COVID, oh, government doesn't have money. Why are you spending unnecessary money on, like, why is Laycon, what's the Laycon do that you're giving him a house, you're appointing him ambassadorship? Like, what is all these ambassadors? There's so, every state, when you look at the list of as in,
Yeah.
it's unnecessary, especially at a time like this. Like, it's just unnecessary. We're trying to cut spending. You are now giving somebody house, and have you, like you said, have you paid your staff? Like, have you like, it's unnecessary, I beg. It's not, these are our governors, they need to do better.
The funny thing, this governor, he's a very, I don't know who is handling his Twitter account. He's very active, very very active. He's like, do you know the thing? I believe, and why I'm referring to his Twitter is because I just want to say that a lot of these things are cloud chasing. As you
Mm.
said, like Big Brother was hot, Laycon won. Lucky
Mm-hmm.
for Prince Dr. Dapo Abiodun, Governor MFR. Brr. He Leko is from his state. What happens? He now says, oh, what should we do to show that we are doing well? We are
Mm-hmm.
working hard. Bam, let's give him ambassadorship. Now, it's funny because it contradicts. Is it not his same generation that say Big Brother is a waste of time, waste of that's why
Exactly.
Nigerian youths are lazy, blah 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 blah. But is this same government people that when Big Brother people win, or even when they participate and they come out,
Yeah,
they do party for them in their states. They congratulate
Right,
them.
exactly.
They go to
right.
governor's house. As in,
Homecoming.
homecoming. As in, every Big Brother contestant that has come out. I remember last Shebi when the last batch, I think it was, or the batch before Cece, when she was meeting
Yeah,
people that have been doing things to move the country forward, have been trying to meet. They are still sitting outside and waiting to meet them.
exactly.
All these things. Now, why is that necessary? Is my question, because
It's not
it's like,
necessary.
Fair.
are you guys moving an agenda? Is there an agenda in place that you're moving? Is there something that he's an it's not a problem if maybe Leko has a certain dream of doing something with Ugun's with his
The
state,
gov. Yeah.
and then now they are channeling that, and now he has been made ambassador and this thing, and he has voiced that out. But now he is based on the fact that he won Big Brother. What is Big Brother? Is entertainment. I will even say, if it's actors, I know actors too, it was cloud chasing. At least actors, and I don't know, it's just the
It's
same thing.
misplaced
It's
priorities. Like,
misplaced
why
Yeah.
are you doing things
priorities.
like that?
It's misplaced priorities
Just
because some people were that were angry about it were saying, look at us, we have been here since, there are doctors, there are this thing, there are
exactly.
people with
How are you
profession.
rewarding them?
Exactly. I'm not
Right.
even saying, because Lekon now, he's a musician, but you're not even rewarding him for being a musician. Is Big Brother.
Big brother.
Yeah, like how did you as Ogun State support him before
Exactly.
Big Brother as an
Exactly.
artist? Do you get what I'm saying? So it's one of the things, but like to your point, it seems quite unnecessary. And the thing is that in the house, I don't know if it's against the rules, but none of these housemates carry their states on their head.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So why so much fanfare on
After.
this when they come out? And I think
Mhm.
again back to cost of governance, to your point, whether it's the homecoming celebration, whether this
Ah,
ambassadorial position, we keep on saying cost of governance is high, which is why we have
it's
to go into
high,
fund
extremely high.
consumption, right? I are now spending money this way. Doctors had to go on strike to get their pay during a COVID pandemic,
Hmm.
right? You may, I don't know if Auguste has paid the 30K, because many states have not paid that
Yeah.
30K minimum wage yet. So to me, I'm like, it just seems a bit tone deaf. And speaking of, there was this senator, Ado Ibrahim, I think, a youth, one of the youngest senators from the north, that hit a woman in a sex toy
Yes, yes, yes.
shop.
I was
Okay.
wondering whether it was the
Yeah,
one you were talking. Yeah, yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah,
he was
yeah.
actually a big Lakon supporter. He even did a video saying, yes, that, how can I support Lakon and he will lose? I'm like, bro, I think
Is that is that
have
is that
some
what you're supposed
place.
to do?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not saying don't support him, but to me, I'm like, you've
That's not
not
your
really,
job.
like, you seem to not understand the fact that you just assaulted a
You're an
lady.
ex-convict. Not,
Yeah,
I don't even know what to even
he was.
say.
I think he
You
was
are
even
ah,
fined like I think the lady went to court and maybe got like 100 million naira. I think
Yeah.
or something. It was me. You've not really fully addressed that. And if I remember correctly, when Remi Tinubu was taking it up with him in the in the
Yeah.
in the Senate or something, he actually was a bit rude to her.
he was rude, very
Mm.
rude.
Yeah. So to me, I'm like, you're like, as a senator, is it Lecon's issue that you should be
Harriet.
carrying? And this guy, have we heard you on this NSAS movements?
No,
Exactly.
even leave NSAS. even after, before NSAS, because NSAS is even recent, all these times things have been happening. Have
Yeah.
you made noise about it? You're a whole senator. You're
And you
supposed to
are
be carrying
young.
cases of youth cases to the this thing.
Exactly.
We never knew your name until you slapped a woman.
Thank you.
Ah,
Thank you.
no, wow.
We pushed the not young to run bill, and the only time we heard your name as one of the younger senators because you slapped it. Like
Slap
That's
so,
somebody.
so to me,
it.
like our priorities are off, but we as
Yeah,
people keep, because to me, this guy has not been punished in any way
I
he
for.
don't
has
even
this.
Yeah,
understand that punishment that he was
maybe
given.
you can't,
Mm.
unelect an elected, person, but you can impeach a governor. You can impeach a
Exactly.
president. Is there no way to impeach an elected
I wonder.
senator to send that message, home? Like, to
You
me,
can't
again,
be. Yeah.
misplaced priorities. But I don't know. Let's just do a quick wrap up for this episode. Anything you guys kind of want to say as parting thoughts? Maybe I'll go first. I think my parting thoughts would be on Auntie in talking stage. I would say that the one place that I will fault you is that I think, even now that I'm learning this, is that sometimes if someone hasn't shown you if someone
Yeah.
hasn't shown you it, if someone shows you 80% energy, then match them at 80%.
Match it. That's
So
just it.
while this
Match it.
guy may have been giving you some tales to lead you on, my guess is that he didn't show you the same energy that required you to cook for him,
Yeah.
right? He probably
Mm,
was not putting as much energy as would have, required you to cook for him. So be mindful of that going forward. But I still stand that honesty is 100%. Just saying that, oh, I'm not ready, right now, or we're just talking, to me, it's a cop out. Honesty is 100%. Say it in your
mm.
words, but your actions have to follow through as well. Ladies, any final thoughts?
I'll just say that because this domestic violence thing is so tricky in the sense that sometimes it is very visible. Abuse as well. Sometimes it's very visible, sometimes it's not, especially when it's verbal, when it's mental. You can't,
Mm.
sometimes it can't be placed. I don't know what Chacha is going through. I don't know what to believe, but I would say, as we mentioned, it is this kind of thing of, let's, please, people should not advice of
Mm.
go and clean what you've said when what you said was the truth.
Right.
As just taking down the honesty route, is honesty is key. Let us all be honest with ourselves. Let us stop trying to think of what people will say too much, that we are killing people's mental, because this thing now, most times people don't realize that it's eating away the mind of the woman until you find the woman now, like that lady that killed her husband. You wonder where it
Mm.
stemmed from. A lot
Mm.
of times
Yeah.
she may have voiced her distress out, but people will be saying, manage, no,
Mm.
don't do that, it is you married, it's for better for worse, and then kasala will burst.
For me, since we're talking about women, I mean, I would say in general, like Olori said, if somebody is giving you 50, give them 50. Don't give them 80. Just equal. Like, let's try to be on the same level so that we know where we are. Then with with Chacha's bipolar thingy, I just think if you feel like you have an issue, talk to someone. If it's your partner, talk to the person. See how you can both help each other, because these things, when they escalate, like either somebody dies or somebody kills someone. I mean, even there's the show I watch on Netflix now about a woman who killed her husband. It was just like, basically, this man never beat her,
I
but the
remember that. I think
mental
I know what you're
the
talking
mental,
about.
yes, Dirty John, like the second,
Yes,
I think.
yes.
But the mental
Terrible.
thing, like, it was just, the woman was there and everything. So women, childbirth is not easy in terms of Chacha's stuff. But I just think if someone has a mental health issue, don't let it escalate. Just kind of find a way to, if it's the man that has a wife who's dealing with stuff, men should just support their wives in the ways that they can, so that the woman can be the best person or the best version of herself. That's just basically it. Because I mean, not everybody's strong like that. Some people just
Mm.
kind of lose it. So I'll just say, if you need help, seek help. That's just it. And then if you know someone who needs help, try to help the person, get that help.
I think that is a beautiful note to end episode 6 on. So thank you, ladies, as usual. We will see you all in the next episode.
Next.
Bye.